Good evening and welcome to today's live, or if you're watching this as a video, today's video for January 2024 psychic forecast, channel messages. And I'm going to do things kind of 50-50, a little bit differently than I do sometimes. So I've got my notes, I've got the astrology, numerology, and the predictions. Incidentally, two of them have already come to pass yesterday, actually. And then I've got like tarot and other divination tools. Um, so we're gonna together. We're gonna get more messages from spirit as part of this tonight. So I'm gonna say a few quick hellos. I see the screen is very grainy, so I apologize if the video quality is poor. Hopefully the internet is good. Hopefully the internet will stay good. So let me say some hellos. And I have some old glasses with me. I haven't gone out and bought new ones yet. For those of you that were on tarot time, got no notification. By the way, the notification system on YouTube has been very poor, especially of late. I apologize for those that aren't getting their notifications anymore. Hi, Kate. Hi, Yvonne. Hi, Suzette. Hi, Mikel and Susan. Good evening. And hi, Brooke and Michael and Carol. And that's about it so far. I see people are starting to come on, so maybe some people are getting their notification. So anyway, first and foremost, happy New Year's, everybody. I'm going to move this just a tad closer. Maybe that'll help the image a little bit. Oh, there's new comments. And hi, Sharon. Sharon, oh, welcome. And hi, Yvonne. Did I say hi? Well, hi again. You get two hellos today. So we're in a new year, a new energy, a new vibration. We did the whole 2024. I was going to say 2022. By the way, I have a chest cold and something going on, so my brain's a little bit foggy and my chest is very congested. So if I start coughing and sneezing, I apologize. No, not 2022, 2024. We did a 2024 complete forecast just the other day. It's up on the channel. That'll be pinned to the comments when this becomes a video. So that included a little astrology, numerology, month by month forecast, messages from spirit, channel messages, divination, and a whole lot of amazing things. Hi, Mafe. Hi, Cosmic Dragon. Welcome. We love 369 around here, so always welcome with that numerology. And that reminds me, let me just start to get into this now after I have a drink of water. I realize not everybody's in yet, but there's a reason that it uploads as a video. So if you guys are old, if you're new, if you want to say hi, where in the world you are viewing us from, that would be awesome. And the Medium channel, it's YouTube, it's videos, but it's also a community, a conscious community, and we connect with other communities on the platform also. The idea is this is the shift from the Great Purge that's been very relevant since really 2022, but it's got really powerful the last half of 2023, and a lot of people have been feeling off and a lot of symptoms from that. So around mid-January, starting around the 11th, although things in the energetic field, they don't just flip on a dime. Sometimes there's a cusp period, but we shift from the Great Purge into the Great Expansion, or the Great Opening, basically the Great Awakening. So this is still like the next 10 days or so, it's still very conducive to clearing old energies. A simple thing that you can do is just meditate, just be in your heart center, feel your heart open and expanding, feel your brain and your heart connecting. The main thing is to be present. So when you stop your thoughts, you can be aware of what they are. A lot of thoughts are subconscious, so sometimes it's good to observe your thoughts also. But did you do that and stop your thoughts, and then expand your awareness? Just feel your heart opening and expanding throughout your body and around your aura, so your one big heart chakra. And then just ask spirit to help you out, and just feel flows of currents of energy just coming down from above and through you and into the earth. and allow these frequencies, because they're very high. The energy, spirit, God, whatever you want to call it, the quantum field, collective consciousness, whatever you want to call it, these energies want to clear all these negative programs, these thousands of years of collective trauma, of suppressed trauma and programming, everything that's been done to us. The energies want to help us to clear. All we need to do is set the intention, get presence to allow, because when we're not present and we're thinking, we're blocking the flows, we're separating from spirit or source when we do that. And set the intention, and it'll happen more or less on its own. Just let it come through your center line, through your body, and let these high vibrations clear stuck energy in and around your energy fields. Yes, it may get uncomfortable. There may be tears. There may be emotional responses, but stick with it. Stay with your breath. Allow it to happen, because a miraculous change is happening in the world. It's starting in 2024. It's starting now, and right around the 11th is a big turning point. So I just wanted to put that out there before I really dive into this. So again, I keep everything on my notes, because I'll never keep all the stuff in my head. Kudos to those presenters that are able to do that. It's not me. So numerology. Yes, we have a chess called. It's a universal number 9 month. So that does a couple of things. It completes cycles. So we're completing a cycle, of course. Every year we have 1 or 2 numerological 9 months. It happens every, in the cycles of 9, obviously 1 through 10. So it's not a huge big deal, but it's just sort of a general resonance that's working with us. So it's a completion cycle. The other thing that it does is it brings Mars energy in, because number 9 is Mars influence numerology, and that's more about action. It can be about wars and aggression. What happened? That was prediction. Well, that wasn't even one of the predictions, actually. I mean, it was a prediction, but not necessarily something that I saw happening immediately. Well, yes, I did. Okay. Spears correcting me. And that's increasing aggression. So what happened in Ukraine on January the 1st? That was a big statement. Was that Russia or was that higher forces? We can debate that later on. But there was a big, unfortunately, a big attack on Ukraine. The thing that I did get was the solar activity that was going to happen very early in the month. And actually, it was December the 31st. There's a class 5 M5 flare, which we haven't had for about several years. So a very significant flare. It's really probably affecting the Earth now. So, you may be feeling the effects. It's a neutrino blast, a gamma burst. It's an energetic thing. It might affect the Schumann resonance. I'm not sure about that, but it affects the Earth fields and it affects us. So this sun's been very active. Part of that's an 11-year sunspot cycle. Part of that is the ascension. So they're kind of gearing up. And that as I'm talking, Spirit saying, we're going to get a lot of those through February, but it's all part of that purge and that shifting into higher energies and higher frequencies. So that was number 1. I forgot. Oh, earthquakes, volcanoes, tsunamis. That was the second one early in the month. That happened yesterday in Japan, unfortunately. All right. So anyway, it's a completion cycle, shift from the great purge to the great shift. So that's what we're calling this, the great shift now. Mars ruled increases aggression and war, geopolitical, God, I can't read my writing, something of geopolitical strife, earthquakes, volcanoes, activity strong early in month. Now, mind you, I wrote these notes out about 3 days ago, not today. A lot of this had not happened yet, so I just want to make that clear. So that's just basic numerology. So for us, I mean, find out what your personal month is. That's a lot more powerful than the universal month. So there's a general ending and completion, but like I'm personally, because I'm in my 22 year until my birthday, I'm personally in a 23 month, which is 5, so it reduces to 5. So my month's more about communications and things like that and freedom. So I'm working with that energy. So learn, understand that, know what your life path number is, and if if your birthday hasn't come up yet, you use 2023 in the calculation. If it has, you use 2024. Like my neighbor had a birthday yesterday, so she would use 2024 to figure out hers, and she's in a 1 year. I'll have to let her know that. So anyway, so that's how you figure that out. So the astrology Mercury Station direct at 22 degrees Sagittarius. That happened, was it 10:30 last night? So we're still in the Mercury Station. It happened at 22 degrees. That's a master number, reduces to 4. So, and it's in Sagittarius. So what does that mean? It helps to open up new knowledge, because Mercury is about information, communication, energy that travels over distances, basically things around the air, healing, energy healing, all that. So this is going to help in this Mercury cycle to open up new knowledge, and that's going to be the whole Mercury cycle till the next retrograde. So it's a good time for us to learn new things, to study, find new teachers on YouTube, that kind of a thing. Spurs the freedom movement, revolutionary activity, because Mercury is 5, or 5 is Mercury, or numerology 5 is Mercury guided. It really taps into the freedom principle. Major cover-ups start to get exposed in this Mercury cycle. Get ready. And they show me pharmaceutical companies right off the bat. We've been seeing hints of that, and we've been seeing that. The big V programs, that kind of a thing, coming under more and more scrutiny. Scientists, virologists that supported the protocol on how people were going to defend themselves with the ensuing pandemic are being questioned, and not only questioned, cover-ups are being not allocated, what's the right word, alleged. So there's documents to that. We don't on mainstream news, it's the last place you hear something like that. It's already happening. So major, and there's other cover-ups. This society that's built on a house of cards, those cards are corruption. So that's what the society's built on, unsustainable. It's got to fall, and that's happening this year. And we're going to rebuild on stronger foundation of truth, on human values, and what's good for us as a community, not just what's good for those minute few that control everything, that show little regard to the well-being of you and me, basically. So this is, this 22-degree numerology in the sign Sagittarius, that very communicative travel world sign, the straight shooter, the arrow. 22 is a very revolutionary. It's Uranus energy, and it's a master number. It's mastering relationships and thinking outside the box and finding new solutions that haven't been tried yet. So we can apply that to our lives as well as the world around us. Now, that's the first. That's happened. On the 4th, Mars goes into Capricorn for its annual visit. So Mars, it's still an inner planet. Every year that happens, not a big deal. But focus starts to become on money and banking, and governments. That's what Capricorn rules. And depending on what year, that will happen anytime from later November, maybe December into February. Again, it depends. Asia Minor and the Asia Major, that whole area, which is 10,000 miles or so, and more even. You're going into a pretty serious drought. So, that may be starting this month. Droughts and fires increase, earthquakes, volcanoes. We talked about that. Places energy to government work and to avoid collapses, loss of credibility. So I think the governments, I know here in the U.S., the government's losing a lot of credibility. That's going to continue. So you're likely to see things or measures in place. I want to say, oh, thank you, Laura. I did it myself with a haircut. I just occasionally I'm peeking what you guys are saying. Welcome. I've been seeing you for a few minutes, so thank you for being here. Can increase battles, wars. That's just kind of like the Mars, moving into Capricorn. That's going to be about a month or so. That'll be that. Then it'll move into Aquarius, and Pluto will be in Aquarius by then. So it's going to put a lot of focus on evolution, revolution, healing, the collective, and that kind of a thing. So on the 11th, big day, 20-degree Capricorn new moon. 20 is the Awakener in Chaldean numerology. So always pay attention to those degree points. This is the fourth consecutive new moon at 20 degrees, third and the fourth. So it's part of the awakening. It's the judgment card in tarot. It's not a gentle energy, but it reduces the two, which is very reflective and very lunar. So a lot of this is going within and our own awakening and clearing the old shadows again, because this is where we're starting to shift more into the shift into the shift from the shadows. Anyway, big collective awakening for the entire lunar cycle that begins on the 20th. And it's in the sign Capricorn, which is very geocentric. It's really about the earth and about the governments and things that move and shake activity here on planet Earth, basically. So again, a lot of this astrological stuff, and the planets are just part of collective consciousness. Their movement affects consciousness on a collective level. So we pay attention to that. And it could reveal money laundering schemes at government levels. So I'd say around the middle of the month, look out for that possibility anyway. As I always say, time is fluid, timelines are fluid. Things that come up as predictions. That's why I call it a forecast, because nobody really knows for sure what's going to happen in the future. I mean, in a way, the future's already happened, so it's known. But then again, this moment changes the past and the future, so it's not known. So you can, get very dizzy trying to make any sense of time, but that's okay. So anyway, it can lead to stock market crashes or changes that way. So keep an eye on what's going on in the markets, especially from January 11th. I think that date is going to be big in terms of things going on in the financial market. So keep an eye on that. And then both number 11, because it's the 11th day of the month, and the number 20 are both spiritual, both about overcoming challenges on personal and global levels. And they're both about spiritual initiation. So lots going to change. We may feel the energies building up to that. It's going to be a very volatile, but a very positive cycle at the same time. Positive in one sense, but some challenging things may happen. So another big day is the 20th. So again, there's that number 20 that comes up again. Big day again, 20, 20 is the Awakener. So the sun and Pluto both go into Aquarius on the 20th, at least here in my time zone. And that's a huge change. That's a huge shift, especially Pluto. Now, Pluto still is going to back into Capricorn briefly later in the year, but the lion's share of this year and for the next 20, Pluto's going to be in the revolutionary and evolutionary sign of Capricorn, out of the workhorse governmental type of sign of Capricorn that it's been in the last 21, 22 years or so. So that's a big shift of energy. That's a big change in the cosmic guards. And again, that's leading to more potential for awakening. It's also going to really open up the technology to new levels for good and for bad. I'm not going to talk a lot about that, but I did talk about that in more detail on the whole 2024 forecast, which is on the channel also. So I have some things that I wrote down. I'm going to read that. Big energy shifts, trends from shadow exposure to understanding spiritual truth. So shadows exposed that have been hidden, understanding spiritual truths, both in our lives as well as in the society. Ideologies can clash, but aids in diplomacy and creating a greater sense of world community. So that's all really starting on the 20th. And it's also, again, it's the sun goes into Aquarius, but that happens every year on the 19th or 20th. But Pluto also, which happens every thousands of years, big push towards society split. So I think we're going to start to see more trending in that direction. There's those that are more like into like the technology and being, buying into all of that stuff, versus those that want to continue their evolution and growth from the human experience. Technology in itself is not bad. In fact, it's part of the awakening at the end of the day, but how it's used can be bad or can be good. So there's a lot of control mechanisms as technology gets more advanced. So does the techniques of controlling, because that's the end game from certain parties, will say that they want to maintain the control over this planet and maintain those benefits there. But people are waking up, and that, this Aquarian energy is really going to bring some spikes into that. So what else do we say? Shocking reveals, big push towards society split. Lots of ascension symptoms for people, especially in digestion. So take care of your stomachs, take care of your guts. This would not be a bad time to do a spiritual cleansing when we're still doing the shadow work collectively. Fasting, intermittent fasting, or cleansing foods, lots of water, cleaning the gut, cleaning the colon, cleaning the gut. If you do that, 2/3 of your health problems may lessen or disappear just by cleansing the gut and the colon, basically. So the thing is, we're fine tuning, our energies are shifting, we're coming to a higher frequency, we become more sensitive to things out of balance in our body. So it becomes even more important to take good care of ourselves. So between now and the 11th, please, let's do more cleansing and clearing, emotionally, psychologically, but also physically. All right. Number 2, page 3. More underground movements become known. So this is all still part of the same energy. Lots of potential for awakening. This Aquarian season, aided big time by Pluto. So the full moon happens on the 25th. That's at 5 degrees Leo. 5 communicates, 5 heals. Leo's a healing sign. Lets in more light. So this full moon, there's going to be a big influx of cosmic light. So again, aids in the awakening, aids in all moving towards freedom. And it's still part of the same lunar cycle that started on the 20s, on the 11th, but on the 20-degree point. Freedom, personal and global, facilitates awakening, shines greater light on global shadows. So again, same thing, same old. And that's usually what happened when you put all the astrology, numerology together. It usually tells a story, like all the aspects are pointing in the same direction. So it's something to be prepared for. And the last big event, there's other astrological events, but I could be here for 2 hours talking about them. But the last major one that involves transits, rather than like aspects, it's Uranus stations to go direct at 19 degrees Taurus. 19's the sun energy, it's solar. So that's going to add a lot of optimism and hope. And we'll already be in Aquarius season. So it's really adding to that energy of Aquarius, which is, again, evolution, revolution, groups, right? Aquarius is about conscious groups and networking and stuff like that. And it's also full of surprises. Uranus loves surprises. So shocking things come up when there's a lot of Uranus. So Uranus it's in the sign Taurus. So a lot of these shocking truths will be around money, around the systems of money, banks, government. So there may be more closures, there may be more shifts in money, and further push to try to centralize things in Europe and other countries. But a lot of resistance to that. So lots of back and forth and ups and downs with the financial markets in January in general. So again, stable investments, as Michael Marr instructs us, that knows a thing or two about this. Precious metals like gold and silver could be smart investments when there's a lot changing in the economy, basically. So let's see, what else do we write down? More demonstrations for peace. Trends towards solving environmental issues. It's not just global warming. There's microplastics. There's a lot of environmental issues. So I think there's going to be a lot of movement and push in that direction. More demonstrations for peace. Removal of an important figure from office is likely to come up in this energy, whether that's here or in another prominent country. I wasn't given that information, but they kind of talk about removed from office rather than stepping down. Now, like was the Queen of Denmark, I think, but I think one of the Scandinavian countries, one of the monarchs did step down already, and yes, so as Nicholas is saying, yes, remember not to live in the matrix. Yes, great advice. So in any event, trends towards that, more demonstrations for peace, removal of important figures from office. The light penetrates the darkness of world corruption. And around 122 or soon after, a huge UFO disclosure comes. There may be just a real public announcement that they are real, they are here, whatever the agenda is. It could be Project Bluebeam, like fictitious UFO encounters, but I think it's more than that because a lot of people are getting contacted also, and we have a video coming out on Thursday on how to open up for alien contact, good aliens, not negative ones, and aids in creating conscious community, helps bring spiritual people together. So what else? Page four. So solar so these are a couple of other little tidbits that have come through. Solar activity strong from 1/1 to 1/11. So we're in that right now. Completion of the Great Purge. So we talked a little bit about that. Attention around a female candidate, whether that's Marianne Williamson or one of the Republican candidate. I'm not really sure. News about cover-ups on inoculations and things like that. We already talked about that. Hearing of a new epidemic later in the month, that may be like around South Africa, Australia, but for some reason that area popped in my mind as I was saying that. Big battles, new players in wars, so a lot of flexing muscles. Money allocated to Israel can become a really hot topic in our domestic affairs. In case you're not up on the news, I just catch a few things here and there. I don't pay a lot of attention, but a lot of money is being allocated to Israel and in the war efforts, basically. But I think that's going to come up against a lot of opposition, I want to say. So just a couple of other hot topics. Where are we? 5. Here's some messages for us, for us as a group. Like I said, there's more predictions that came up in the 2024 forecast, for January for the whole year. So we're gonna practice your channeling, and there's different ways to do that because we're all connected to spirit guides. They're looking for more channels. There's extraterrestrial guides. There's there's ascended masters. There's angelic energies. There's a lot of higher beings that are working with humanity at this time to really kind of lift us out of the whole like matrix energy, as it were. And so practice that. One thing that you can do is just sort of light a candle. Just be aware. Just imagine that you have like a channel of light extending from above, either through the top of your head or the back of your throat, and just meditate for a minute, open up, and just feel this energy coming in. Feel your throat being activated, and then just start to talk. And as you do that, don't think about it. And you may find with a little bit of practice, as you talk, that more information comes in. It's almost like you create a cycle. Or you can do automatic writing if that's more preferable. But they're saying to work more on our channeling, to work more on connecting to spirit. It's just like an exercise. Work on your frequencies, do our energy channeling, that we do that here with the master teachers on the medium channel, or yoga, our ascension exercises that we have on the channel, being out in nature, qigong, tai chi. But this is really, again, working on our frequencies. And as I'm talking, they're saying food is important. Eat well, don't eat crap, but eat well. 80 to 90% of what you see on those store shelves out there, that's not food. Those are products that are made from food, but it's not food. So things that may get exposed, because we're living in this emperor's clothes world that somebody's got to point, some brave young girl or boy, you got to say the emperor has no clothes. Part of the no clothes is, why are organic foods that have less in them cost more money? Why do healthy foods that have less ingredients, that their production costs are equal or less, cost more money? Could it be, I mean, I don't know, so I don't have an opinion, but could it possibly be that it's an attack against the poorer people, that they want those that don't have the affluence to struggle more, basically, to keep the whole structure that's unfair in place? It's a theory, something we can think about. But anyway, work on your frequencies. Energy spikes and troughs get more pronounced under this energy. So allow for adequate rest. And you may have days or periods where you're just off, where you're reacting emotionally to things that you know better. Don't beat yourself up over it. Just go back to presence. You can do your Ho'oponopono prayers. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. And you can do those 4 lines in any order that you choose. But that's the Ho'oponopono prayer. When you feel the essence of those words, whether it's to yourself or your higher self or to spirit or another person, that also helps to open the heart and align you more to spirit and to align you more to be grateful for. So the energy shifting to the next level, ready or not. So, let's be ready. Let's be prepared. I mean, you can't prepare for everything, obviously, but let's be prepared. And the energetic challenges were all part of the purge. This will be different now, more profound. So again, there may be some challenges. It's all more profound. And Horse's triggers help saying she loves automatic writing. So that would work with that. So just your diets and habits this month, you are changing on an energetic level, which will change your body. We're also changing on a quantum level. So we're having quantum shifts, going into January. And from a scientific perspective, that's when electrons go into, I think it's called the valence. It's been a long time since I studied this stuff. But electrons have different levels of energy that they can exist on as they circle the atom. So it's not like they're in between. They jump from one level to another, and that's called the quantum leap. So what happens inside the atom happens on all levels because everything's made up of atoms, and atoms are made up of energy. So everything's made up of energy. And we're going to have our quantum leaps of consciousness. And what happens? We feel energy is different. We feel different sensations in our body. Sometimes there's physical symptoms, ascension symptoms. Sometimes there's new psychic gifts that open up, new insights, new revelations. All that stuff is all part of that. So you want to adjust and as you feel different, there's certain foods that you're not going to feel attracted to anymore. Trust that, because your higher self, your body, the part of your body that knows that your energy, that it's energy, and understands that it's trying to tell you certain things are bad, to change that. Your breath work becomes even more important. So do your breath work, whether it's yoga or other forms of breath work. They just pop that idea in my mind to do a lot of ohms. But when you do it, you start to funnel the energies from the earth. And you start to funnel that up through your chakras, through your center line, opening and affecting all the chakras. So you finally get to that final which is lasts a while. Then it goes through your crown and through your upper transpersonal chakras into the ether. So that really helps to cleanse, to energize. Doing Om is a great way to purge and to energize. Doing like just 11 minutes at a time. Just like that, but even longer, 15 seconds of that, even longer. Just doing that is one of the most powerful spiritual exercises you can do for awakening, for channeling, for mediumship, for healing, for connecting to God or source, for everything. And it's so simple. Spirituality is so simple, but everybody wants to complicate it. And in the 2024 channeling, they were trying to demystify this whole thing about the third dimension, the fourth dimension, the fifth dimension. And it means something different in math than it does in science, than it does in newer thinking. So, the fifth dimension in math and science has a different connotation than it does. To me, it's different levels of reality that coexist within the physical reality. And they kind of explain what that is in that context, in that. So what else? Several energy portals accentuated by the solar activity. So we're going to go a lot of energetic portals. When we go through portals, we have energetic activations within our body. January 1st to 3rd is one. We're in it right now. So we're in an energetic portal right now. January 11th around the 13th is another one. And they're saying January 20 to 25th is a very important and powerful portal around that time. So, and there's others, I won't nail the dates exactly. And it's like, it's intangible. So who knows if it's going to be right or wrong anyway, but we feel it and we feel the changes. So you'll need to stay grounded, working with routines and making adjustments in, I can't read my writing, adjustments in something. I can't even read my writing, but making adjustments in our daily routines and our activities, basically, to fit the new energy. So it's fine to start to adjust your routines. Like I may work on my morning routine and try to tweak it a little bit, for example, and some of my daily practices. So it's fine to do that in this new energy. Thank you. I'll flash this one because I love dancing. It's worth speaking on, and Spirit saying yes, yes, yes. Thanks for posting that. Um, Dancing, when you can just let yourself go and just be the music and just move with it, you tap into the universe. You tap into universal flows. Everything moves in rhythm. Everything has a timing. Everything has a beat. Everything has a cadence. There's a reason the music is central to virtually all cultures that ever roamed this planet, because it connects us more with source. There's a reason for it. Again, spirituality is simple. We've just forgotten who we are. And this is the time to remember who we are. And through breath work, through Om, through dancing, through very simple spiritual practices, we start to remember who we are. And everything starts to flow from there. I want to do a tarot spread for January, so I'm going to do that as well. And journaling too. Good idea. Let's do our journaling. Let's journal the journey. There's no coincidence it has the same prefix. Nothing complicated here. And so yeah, it looks like Colleen's been dancing to her boogieing anyway. So yeah, we just were talking about dancing. So very good timing there. All right. Oh, I do have my clipboard. Good. So this is just like I do in tarot time. I'll ask Spirit to guide me to 3 cards to give us more information for us about the month of January. This one. Oh, that's interesting. They show me the 5 of Wands in my mind, which is often about clashes and competitions. So I think one of the messages is people are going to be very uppity and very changeable. So you may want to really work on staying in your own lane and not getting in the crossfire of people's negativity. We're all empaths and we see that. Well, I got the 7 of Wands, which is a similar energy, but it's not the same card. The World card and the 10 of Cups reversed. A couple of things, I think with this, it has a similar energy to the 5 of Wands, but in the 7 of Wands, you're staying above the challenges. You're able to meet the challenges in your life. So I think that's a key point. A lot of those challenges are in the world. I think a lot of people, well, hopefully not, but I think some of us may face some challenges in the medical stuff, like insurance, claims, bills, red tape, things of that nature. And I just got this image of like a big, almost like a celebration happening on January 6th. That was the day of the incursion in 2020, right? That happened, where they were somehow able, a bunch of people, with some of them with paint on, were somehow able to penetrate the most guarded building on the planet, or one of them. And did people question that? They should. I mean, yeah, I know that Trump may have called down security or whatever, but when it comes to national security, the White House is actually a higher power than the U.S. president, from my understanding, anyway. Again, somebody, as people question these things more, because there's glaring contradictions in what's going on in the world. So I get, it's probably more like the right-wing extremists, but in some of these rallies that are more like supporting of the Trump ideals, from my inside sources saying, it's actually a very loving connection for the most part anyway, that, that people are hugging and people are really, working towards awakening and creating a better world. And they believe what they believe, which is fine. So it starts out being nonviolent, but then there can be encouragement from other sanctions that throw violence into the work, so they can say, see, look at them, they're violent, they're bigots, they're proud boys or whatever. I mean, some of that may be true, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah. Um, so anyway, so there's that, and the Ten of Cups is generally taken as a good card, being that it's reversed. I mean, I think part of it is that a lot of us may have differences with family and close friends. It's fine to step out of that. Sometimes the initiation that leads to a spiritual awakening calls on us for leaves certain people behind that aren't ready to make this shift yet. So that could be hard for some people because you're on this threshold of awakening or it's happening. But sometimes what holds people back is like, but my friends, my family, it's like they don't get it. And then they kind of block themselves. I feel like they're saying we have to accept that as part of it. And you know what? We attract new families. Everything on the physical is temporary. And you're never going to find any security in anything on the earth plane because one day it's going to end. I'll die, you'll die, your job will end, your friendships will end. It's inevitable. So you want to stay present in the now. The now is the only thing that lasts forever because it's always now. Now is synonymous with spirit, the one thing that lasts forever. So when you're able to do that, you create more stability as much as is possible in the earth plane. You create more of that. And the understanding is like, as you evolve, you start to connect with people that more match your new energies. Like attracts like. So you start to attract new friends and new family of the heart that are more on the same page with you. So again, this is a big shifting month for a lot of us. And it's saying, a lot of us will be, disconnecting from certain people. And it's hard, but it's fine. At the end of the day, it's fine. The world card is very nice. Again, I think it's emphasizing a lot of geopolitical, I was going to say, but a lot of things, more earthquakes, more volcanoes. It may not happen in January, but I keep saying, keep an eye on the American West. I'll put it this way, there's a reason that there's geysers in West Yellowstone, like Old Faithful. Geysers only happen when there's some geological instability underneath the earth, where there's magma and lava that heats the earth to create those hot plumes of gases and water. So basically, the American West is sitting on I think one of, if not, I feel like Spirit's saying there's larger ones in Antarctica, but I mean, I don't know that. This is just what popped up in my mind. But I've heard that this is the largest volcano in the world. It's right in the American West. So, it's been semi-dormant for a very, very long time. Now, I know that we have helpers, there are forces, whether it's spirit or extraterrestrials or whatever, that are working with the earth. So, it doesn't get destroyed because we're meant to stay on this earth for a while longer. But that's what this world card is telling me, more upheaval of the planet herself, and we've been creating a lot of disbalance and disharmony. And a small part of that is the carbon emissions, but with carbon emissions, there are other emissions that are more toxic. I mean, carbon just becomes CO2, and as long as they don't cut all the grasslands and the trees, the earth will balance that out over time. I mean, yeah, it helps to warm the planet in this brief interval of time, but there's so much other stuff that's going on the planet and things that we don't hear a lot about. So I think environmentalism, especially with this Aquarian energy kicking in, is going to be really big this month also. And idea is that, we can kind of hold off a lot of the challenges. If we stay in our heart and we stay on top of the changes and we accept that as part of the awakening, things will change, but we'll be able to handle it. And I think that that's the overall message that they're trying to tell us is it's hard, but we're going to be able to handle it. So anyways, I have a couple of other divination tools to look into. I had my frequency of the month. I have the sacred geometry deck with me. Of course, I have Kyle Gray. I don't think, at least I haven't seen Doreen on the live. She'll catch this as a video, but she gifted me the this deck. Oh, it was Amy of Intuition, Tarot and Spirituality channel that gifted me these cards, the sacred geometry deck. Cold. I think you guys know that. I've said it a million times. Interesting that we got divine masculine. Then we get divine feminine recently also. So the message is actually in the geometry itself. So if you gaze at this, you'll get intuitive messages from that. So you can do that now. Oh, wait a second. Yes, Michael, tomorrow is never guaranteed. I'm glad he was able to kind of find his way through the traffic finally to give you a message in the last mediumship group. That was pretty awesome. And what it says here is the frequency of divine masculine supports our strong, focused, and active side, allowing it to express itself while helping us to bring our dreams and ideas into form with kindness and wisdom. In other words, be proactive. Divine feminine is more receptive energy. I mean, you need the balance of the two, obviously, but as a meaning or as an energetic frequency active this month, be proactive. Like, in other words, Mercury will be direct. I think once Uranus goes direct, all planets are direct for a little while. Start to act on your plans. What are your dreams and your goals? Like, getting into your heart brain coherence, feeling it internally, making it real energetically. That's very divine feminine. The divine masculine is that seed, that spark that creates life, right? Whereas the divine feminine is more that nurturance of life. So add that spark, and part of that spark is action. It's like putting your plans into action, basically, and to not to be laid back, but to be proactive. If things aren't right, to speak on it or to make different choices. So I think that's part of the meaning for us in this month, basically. And also, they wanted me to pull this card, Coherence. We talk about heart brain coherence, so double down on that one also. This frequency of coherence supports our ability to harmonize the frequency of the heart and the frequency of the mind for an optimal ability to create the reality we desire. So I was just talking about this, and this card just called to me. It was in the deck, and it's like, pick me. So I did. Spontaneously, I did. So there's our dual frequencies in the month. So when you blend the duality of yin and yang, or one or two, you get three. You get the universal frequency of love and creativity. That's why the 369 code is so important, because there's the 0, 1, and 2. That's more on the physical level. The 0 is the void, 1's the spark, 2's the duality, and 3's those forces that act upon the physical universe to create change. Otherwise, the physical reality would just self-replicate into infinity. That's called being fractal, basically. But there's forces that change those fractals, and that's accessible through the 369 code. Thank you, Nikola Tesla, for bringing that into a way that we can actually explain it. Because I've always been into threes. In fact, my Power Attunements program is predicated upon the heart. You're going to hear a lot more about this year, by the way, my Power Attunements program. I made it in 2013, and the Power of Threes. Both of those are important in that. I did not know about heart brain coherence at the time. I did not know about the 369 code. I channeled this whole program and then patterned it after what I learned from my teacher. Sandra Taylor gets a big nod, the author of Quantum Success. That she was a huge inspiration, but also some of the other law of attraction greats. I wasn't aware of Joe Dispenza at the time, now that I'm making that program better because I have more information now to add to that. So anyway, you're going to hear a lot about that this year. So anyways, last but not least, if I have the deck with me, if not, Spirit is saying to pass on it. I guess Spirit is saying no because I don't have that deck with me. But interestingly, what I do have, that is so weird. That's strange. Okay, I think that was Spirit. So what I have instead, it's called the Angel Therapy card. So that'll be our final divination tool for the day. So Kyle Gray will be back on Sunday for tarot time. All right, and here we go. And this is the one. This is right at me. Archangel Michael of the South of Fire. So fire has that very masculine vibe in a way, but again, it's just energy. You're working very closely with this powerful angel who's protecting and guiding you through the situation. So one of the things that I also see in Archangel Michael is basically confidence and inner strength, and expressing your inner strength into the world around you. So that's that to me is also a very important part of that. Yes, and Mafe saying, "My boy, yes." So work with and work with the energies of Archangel Michael also. And okay, so I'm gonna shut down for the evening. Thank you very much, and I'll have the 2024 complete forecast, including the channel messages pinned, and there's also a month by month forecast pinned to the comments as this becomes a video if you have not seen that yet. And that's basically it. I might as well just send a little bit of a nod to our Patreon group, Spirit Mind Family. It's Akashic Records Month, January. So we're going to work a lot on uncovering things about different lifetimes and how you can work with the records to change your life. So that's the monthly theme that we have on Spirit Mind Family. We also do more, I don't want to say more advanced, but more, I don't know what the right word is other than advanced, but we do energy channeling there also that's more succinct. Like they share more because it's a private platform. People have to pay $5 a month to be on it. So I feel like the channelings we do here are very powerful. In fact, we just did one that blew me away, and I got a lot of comments from it. Just what was it, yesterday, in fact. So we do very powerful work here, but we even kick it up a notch on Spirit Mind Family. So I'll leave more information on how to get in that, and we have the exclusive videos and content there and everything. Thank you. So there's a little testimonial for you guys. All right, thank you, everybody. Thank you for that. Thank you, horses. So I love our month topic. Me too. Yes. Oh, good. I'm glad that my tools are helping. Yes, and my tools and I'm sure that you have other teachers that are very helpful also. So everybody has a piece of the puzzle, the way that I look at it. When it comes to spiritual teachers, everybody has something, that's genuine and real anyways. Some more than others for you. And the ones that have more for you, that resonate more with you than others, those are the ones that you obviously gravitate towards, right? But there's a lot of us, and there's more people are awakening, and that's the beauty of it, because more people are awakening, but more people are wanting to learn. So we need more teachers because there's more volume of people that are looking for teachers. So it's funny how that works. Anyway, I'm kind of babbling at this point, so I think this is a good time to end. If you got on late, as soon as I end, you can catch up from the beginning. Love you. See you at the next video.